Hello everyone. Once again, one more chapter, one more topic of the same chapter, which in continuation. Before that, you know that is last topic of this chapter. That is how do we conserve biodiversity. That is last chapter, last topic of this chapter. Previous one we have done biodiversity loss, then how to conserve, why should we conserve, why do we conserve that biodiversity, and now today we'll say how do we conserve biodiversity, right? So now, because why I have to link this on last topic, because in this ecology only 2 chapters are there. There are total 4 chapters in ecology. 2 chapters are deleted by CBSE because of this during this pandemic period, and only 2 chapters we have to study. Once already we have done chapter 13, organisms of population, and then chapter 15 we have to do, and that we have come to an end this chapter. So now that is a very small chapter and very small and easy chapter. Okay, so now then you will see, first of all, previous session or previous class we have done why do we conserve biodiversity, why do we conserve biodiversity. So now then today I would like to give one example which is nowadays you are very familiar, all of you are very familiar. If you are watching TV, you are reading news, you are hearing news also, so then you will see that then during this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, now that is means the doctors are doing 2 types of treatment is there. One, that what they are doing, one, if patient is a person is diagnosed with COVID-19, so doctors are doing advising them to go self-isolation and home quarantine. You know that home quarantine means they are instructed to be in home, but that they don't move here and there, and isolation form. One thing you know that you have seen that self-quarantine, home quarantine. Second, what they are doing, doctor's team, they are taking patients to hospital and they are being treated in that hospital, right? The 2 ways are there. So why they are doing the 2 ways, right? One, the person, those are in self-quarantine or in home quarantine, what is there? I think that will be asymptomatic. That is not a serious issue, that they are having that COVID positive, but maybe they can be in a very slow effect. So then at the time it can be over by home quarantine, right? It's simple. But second patient, those are doctors are taking away to hospital, then they are thinking about that the serious condition. With serious patients are advised to go to hospital where they will be also admitted in isolation ward, right? This is the, everyone knows that it's home quarantine and in hospital isolation ward. There are 2 ways are there, right? Now the same case here in this conservation of biodiversity. So as you know, in previous class we have done why should we conserve biodiversity. As you know, we told that one, narrow utilitarian, then broadly utilitarian, third ethical. Because there are 3 regions, then because of that we need to preserve biodiversity, right? Now then second way, how do we? So then it means it's okay then we should conserve, but how? What are those methods by which we can conserve this biodiversity? So come to this, there are only 2 methods are there, or there are 2 ways are there by which we can conserve biodiversity. So now what are those? Now first one, that is in situ. That is in situ, it is also known as on site. Okay. Now second one is there, that is ex situ, off site. Now what example I have given? COVID-19, home quarantine and isolation ward in hospital. I told these 2 examples. So now that will be first one, home quarantine, right? Home quarantine on site, in situ, inside home. And second one, ex situ, that is off site, away from home, isolation ward. When we talk about this, home quarantine, right? And here in isolation ward means in a hospital. Okay, means here we are taking that patient to isolation ward in hospital. Here they are advised to be at home and in self-isolation. So these two are methods are there. The same here means that in situ is we are comparing with home quarantine, and ex situ we are comparing with the isolation ward in hospital. What will be there? So now then, first of all, what are those? What type of species should be conserved? What type of biodiversity should be conserved? So you know which one? That will be those are going to be extinct, or those are at the verge of extinction. Threatened species, endangered species, those are given by the IUCN in Red Data Book. So then those are species are in those species which should need to be conserved. So those species should be conserved by what is their home quarantine. So when we talk about the first one means we will take about home quarantine. In situ or home. Are you getting this one? Home quarantine or in situ means those species which are living habitat of that particular species. So because of that, suppose in one forest that species, endangered species or that threatened species there, right, in that forest. So what we will do? We should not take that particular species to away because home quarantine is there. So we will take care of the whole forest. Entire forest should be required to be protected. Are you getting? Means the whole forest where that particular species, there is a habitat of the particular species there. So according means when we want to particular species we want to conserve, in that means whole we have to take care about the entire forest. It means all other varieties of species will also be protected, right? That is a home quarantine. Means we are taking care about that particular habitat. That endangered species should be in that area where they live, actual home, and then we are taking care in that home. Means that will not require to move away from that home. The same is a home quarantine is there for COVID-19 patient. So now then there are COVID-19 patient, which one? Those endangered species, threatened species. Then home is there, that particular habitat, maybe that forest is there, maybe in their small pond is there, maybe small land area, grass thing, whatever it may be. So now then we have to take care about the habitat. Is that clear? So now then in situ what will be? But you know that when we are conserving we are protecting the whole entire forest in that, so what will be? Number of conservationists, those are studying about the conservation, they are not agree. They are criticizing this method. Why they are saying that is not feasible. Number of other nations also they are objecting. Other nations also objecting that one. Means when number of countries, when they what they are doing, what is the point of there? Why they are criticizing that in situ program? They are saying it is not feasible, economically not feasible to caring for only protecting one species, endangered species. We are taking care of the whole. We are means economically it is not feasible. We are spending more to protect that particular forest. So then instead of that, it is means all countries are criticizing. Number of countries. So then that method, but still we are using that method. Still then number of countries they are using this one. So now then conservationists, those are studying about this biodiversity, they have given idea, they are identified. They have telling about hot spot, right? Means where they have to take care. Then hot spots. Have you heard about hot spot? Hot spot. That hot spot. These hot spots means that rich in biodiversity, but that is a endemism. What is there? Endemism. ENDEMISM. Endemic species also you can say, which were that place, that spot where the particular one type of species, one type of that species are maybe more than one species, 2-3 species are there, but those species are not found anywhere, not found any elsewhere. Means in that particular spot, endemic species. Means if I am living in this house, so then in this house that I will be in that. I cannot be found in anywhere. Means my particular habitat is this, I will be here. So that spot is called hot spot, and in that hot spot endemic is defined. Means endemic species are there. That is endemic species. So in whole country, means whole world, country, all our country, whole world, we have got total 34 hot spots. How many? 34 hot spots. Earlier it was 19, later on 14, earlier that we have 14 or total 14 I think, means total together that we have got 34 hot spots. Now then I think 19, we can check that book also, that number is there, 34, total 34 is there, then in that will be, yes, total 34 and 9 included in later on, means earlier it will be 25 hot spots were there, but later on 9 more hot spots added there, then we have got total 34 hot spots. Are you understanding that hot spot? That is rich in biodiversity, but there is endemic species are found. Endemic species means those species are not found anywhere, only in that particular spots. So total in the whole world, we have got 34 hot spots. When we talk about India, why I am giving a name, because questions can be asked. That is in India, there are main India, the 3 hot spots name are given. That is Indo-Burma, then that is Western Ghats, that is given in a book also, and Sri Lanka, right, and third one that will be Himalaya. These are the Indian hot spots where these are the rich in biodiversity. So conservationists, what they are telling that we need to conserve these hot spots, so that those species are there. When we are taking care about these hot spots, so then in hot spots we can preserve or we can protect those endemic species by doing this. So now then that in situ, but still that in our India, then we are also having this in situ program on site. We are preserving and protecting number of endangered species. I will tell you what are those. So first this one, these are, the total 34. When we cover the 34 hot spots land area, total land area of these 34 is hot spots, 34 hot spot, total area, land area is nowadays is 2% less to that, only 2% of the total earth area. Are you getting me? Means it is given, that calculation is also given in a book. Means the total 34 hot spots, total area of these total hot spot, 34 hot spots is only they are covering 2% of total earth area. मतलब पूरी अर्थ का जितना एरिया है उसका 2% ओनली क्या है, 34 हॉट स्पॉट का एरिया. इट मीन्स इट्स वेरी लेस, एंड बट that 2% if we will protect, so then we can decrease the rate of mass extinction of biodiversity by 30%. While we see very less area, we see that when we see, so only 2% of the total area of earth, it's very less, only 2%. And when we are taking care about that 2% land area, and then still then we would be able to decrease the mass extinction of biodiversity by 30%. So then we need to conserve this biodiversity, whether it will be in situ or ex situ, but we should do something towards these, to protect these endangered, threatened species. So now then we will come to the, in India, when we talk about India, so what are the ways that hotspots are general in entire, the whole world that hotspots are there. When particularly when we see in India, so in India we are having biosphere reserve. You know, there are biosphere reserve, in your book is also given this biosphere reserve, we will write here. You can mark in your book also, beta, that is given in a book. You can underline biosphere reserve. That is total 14. Then when you talk about national parks, these are total 90. And third one, wildlife sanctuaries. Total these are 448. You can mark it in your book also. These are given in that page number because it's important, that's why I'm telling you. 261 page number, 14 biosphere reserve, 90 national parks and 448 wildlife sanctuaries. So now these are, means by these we are taking care of biosphere reserve, national parks and wildlife sanctuary. So then we are taking care of that endangered species. So this is the in situ. These are the natural habitat. These are the natural habitat and of those particular species which are endangered or threatened. Now the one more method is there in that in situ. One more is there, that is called sacred groves. Again important. Sorry. Sacred groves. What is that sacred groves? In that sacred groves, these are, India. In India and the world, especially we talk about India. So in our country, number of traditions are there, cultural. Future. One example I want to give, then you can understand more. That is not given in your book example, so you cannot mention it. But for understanding what I want to, what is that sacred grove, so that I am telling you. So that is a people tree. All of you know about people tree. Under people tree, you have seen that people are going to worship there, and you avoid to cut it. That people tree, they will not cut that one because they are worshipping under this, and then the number of times there on Saturday, then the people are there, they are worshipping there. So now that at time they are protecting that people tree. In Indian people, they are protecting that people tree. Now then you see that in that people tree, that is the last tree, and in that tree number of other species are also surviving, number of insects also be there, number of birds are also be there, means number of species are there, and they are being protected by those religious people. Those are thinking that banyan tree is religious, right? So that is means we can also consider sacred grove, but it is a very small. We are talking only one type of people tree, only one tree we are talking. But when the mass, we will see mass, so then there sacred groves are different. Sacred groves are there, that is a Kasi is there, Jaintia is there, in Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan is there, in Kasi Jaintia in Meghalaya is there. Now number of it given in examples you have to learn, you can mark it. Now then people are forest track, when the people are protecting the whole forest of that forest tribe, and when they are, because of religious point of view, because they are worshipping there maybe, so now then what they are doing, it means the whole forest will be protected. So under that, in that forest whatever those endangered or threatened species are there, they will also be protected. So now these are called sacred groves. It's okay, understood that one, sacred groves. As you know, one more example you see, and just is not given in a book, I am telling you, whatever Salman Khan case. Have you remember that Salman Khan case? Now then, which he, that black deer he hunted. Why that? Because they are worshipping. That people of Rajasthan, they are worshipping that particular, I think, that is religious. Just we are thinking about cow. So now then, it means because that will be, they are protecting that deer, black deer, and they are chinkara, what I think named chinkara. So now then they are protecting only for because of religious point of view. In the same one more is a Khujrali, that Amrita Devi Vishnu Award is given in class 10th. I think that some in belief it is given. So then that some special Khujrali trees are there. Those are also traditionally or religiously they are, means that is sacred. They are sacred for those people. So they are avoid to cut that trees also. These examples are not given here, but you can understand by these people tree on the Khujrali or the chinkara or black deer. By this you can understand this, what are these sacred groves. That groves, when we talk about the whole large area, right? I had given example of simple one type of tree, but we have they are protecting there the whole forest tract. So this is about and these will come under this in situ. These are the in situ home quarantine. Means they are the natural habitat of this. When sacred groups, we are protecting that tract, forest tract we are protecting. It means in that forest tract number of species are there, and that is a natural habitat for them, and they all will be protected along with that forest. So this is in situ, means they are in their home, in their natural habitat. We are trying to protect them. So then there we have biosphere reserve, national park, wildlife sanctuaries, and sacred groves, and that is all this coming under the heading of in situ. So now next one, that is ex situ. When we talk about ex situ, off site. Off site means when I told that is a isolation ward in hospital, when we are taking the patient, you know that is COVID-19 patient, means we are taking the threatened species, endangered species. So now then we are taking care that species by taking away from their natural habitat. Means to protect them, then we are taking in that particular in the own natural habitat. So then we have to protect to each and every one. So now that will be taking care at time, and that will be economically is not feasible, as other nations also saying that. So now then it will be, we are taking the particular endangered species, taking away from that, and then we are protecting in that environment. We are giving a time to give that natural environment to that particular species. So you know, botanical park, botanical garden, zoological park, zoological garden, these are safari. These are wildlife safari, that is wildlife safari. So these are coming under the ex situ. In that all those endangered species, all those endangered or extinct species we are protecting in this. Now then nowadays it will be starting from that only we want to protect them, but now that it will become more advanced, means about zoological garden or zoological park also it is called, zoological park, then botanical garden, then third it is called wild safari. We are giving them natural habitat, means in that particular place we are taking all endangered or threatened species, and we are taking care here. In that means all those patients are there, and we are taking that special care in that, instead of giving that special care to their natural habitat. So now then, because then when you the COVID-19 patient, when we are taking to hospital, it means because of them other persons will also suffering. So the same case here, when we endangered species are there, and we should take care of that particular endangered species. So then in that rest of the species also be maybe sometimes neglected by we are giving the special attention towards that species. Maybe that is not required to them also on there. So now that will also be affected. So then we are taking away. So then by the animals we are taking in zoological park, plant species we are taking in a botanical, or wild safari also we are only for those endangered species. Now then, nowadays it is more advanced. As in zoological park or botanical garden, then what we are recent, that advanced technology is there. So we are not putting or trying to taking care of that endangered species. We are trying to preserve their gametes also through cryopreservation. In chapter 2 we have done cryopreservation. What is that cryopreservation? In that cryopreservation we are preserving gametes in liquid nitrogen at temperature which one? -196 degree Celsius. This is this process of preserving gametes, that is called cryopreservation. So here in these parts we are preserving their gametes also. If suppose might be those species are not survive, So we have got gametes. So then we are doing what? In vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization. Here we can do research work also here. In plants case, we can also plants propagate through the tissue culture. We are using tissue culture technique, and then we are protecting that one. So now then here number of in that botanical and zoological park, number of those species which are economical use for us human being, we are also putting those strains in that, and then we are in research, and then we are finding that is good, that gene is good for that in that species. So then we are continuing that for these methods we are using. So that nowadays it is more advanced now in these all. So that is all ex situ off-site methods, right? So now then next one, in last paragraph of this topic, means first of all, when the people, the whole world look after that. So the first in 1992, the one summit that is called Earth Summit, means that is a one meeting in that convention, you can say Earth Summit. Now that is in 1992 in Rio. And then they all the number of people representative from the different countries, then they have taken care that we should do something towards their biodiversity loss. So then they started their some methods. So now then after the 10 years after, again the second to look follow up, means they just after 10 years again they all those countries sitting in 190 countries participated in 2002. That is called World Summit in South Africa, in Johannesburg. In Johannesburg in South Africa. That is the second summit or second meeting, you can say, where 190 or 192 countries participating. They have participated. Now then what they have, those all 190 countries pledged, and they pledged for the commitment to protect their biodiversity, and they to put steps to decrease the rate of mass extinction of biodiversity. They try to do that. So now then, since then they are, countries are meeting will be there, summit will be there, and then they are taking steps, and they are giving suggestions also. So this is about in the last, it is given in a book. I am not taking beyond your book, everything is in book. Go revise and then go and revision, and but one thing more, that you have to learn the names also, because 100% sure one question from this ex situ and in situ number of times, and that will be not less than 3 marks. So please ex situ, in situ, all points you have, I have also covered all points. You will just go through that the whole chapter topic, and then you see that this is number of times ex situ and in situ. And one more news I want to tell you. I think day before yesterday I heard that news, that will be in India, that our Project Tiger, I told about the Project Tiger program, that that species tigers are going to be extinct. So then that government has, Indian government has started the program Project Tiger, and to protect their species. So this time I have heard that news, then that the number of tigers doubled, means previous then that increased, but this time the tiger will be double at what that time as well. It means we get success for this, to protect Project Tiger, this program. So in that way, for protecting other endangered species or threatened species, we can do something. So that I again told that it will be not only individual, all of us we will do. Not only government can do, we also have to do. So okay, this is last end of the topic. I will upload the question answers also, and some after at the end of this I will give that assignment also. Okay, so then that on Thursday I will give worksheet. So then you have to revise for chapter 1 and 2 for that 30 marks worksheet. Okay.